Well, hello. Hello, everyone. Hopefully, you can hear me good. This is my first time streaming on YouTube, so hello. I am Celtic to Nephew. The music is coming in hot as I say all this, so I'm not sure if you can hear this. Usually on Twitch, it doesn't come in very loud. Oh. Oh, jeez. It looks like I had my screen up. So, trying to run around quick and turn that off before everybody in the world hears my spiel. Or here's my feedback, really. So, anyhow, I'm Celtic the Nephew. You can call me Celtic. You can call me D. I am a professional dungeon master over on StartPlaying.games, and I am prepping my homebrew world today. I've been doing these streams on Twitch for the last few weeks, and now that I finally have some videos up, I'm trying to move over here to YouTube. Keep everything in one place. It helps because I love YouTube and I'm on there all the time, and I don't understand Twitch. So hopefully it's just going to make my whole life easier. If you're here hanging out, if you're coming along and saying hi, please just drop a note in the chat and you can help me torture my players. And I say that, but of course I love my players and I'm here just to make sure they have a great time. Now, previously on the High Seas campaign, the players have finally made it to a volcanic island similar to Iceland, north of the world. They are coming here because some pirates stole their friends. And there's a subplot with stars falling out of the sky. I don't know, maybe that's important. Players haven't picked up on that quite yet, or they're just starting to. But, yeah, for now, we have them sneaking in onto the island, and most of the players made it to the island. One of them got caught. Our lizard folk monk got caught by a roving band of pirates and has been taken away to prison, apparently. They do know that some of the folks that are being captured are there to dig up stars. Or a star that has fallen from the sky into this island. What they don't know is the magical chaos of this star that is reaching down into this volcanic island is actually thinning the plane between worlds, because in my world, all the planes just kind of bubble up and in and out, similar to the way if you see two galaxies spinning together, how their asteroid belts and planets can collide. I just think that's really fascinating. So that's what I'm gonna go. That's the vibe I'm going for. Sometimes the veil between the planes is thinner than others, and things can pass through. Sometimes it's thicker. The fire veil was fairly thick until the star came. So hopefully we're going to have some pirate shenanigans, some let's try to save our friends shenanigans, and then we're going to have fireplane shenanigans. So we're going to have all kinds of cool, like, magma methods and steam methods and all that fun stuff, hopefully. Now, blind players do absolutely love to roleplay, so they do move a bit slow. But that's not going to stop me from making some cool content for them. Now, I have been Where did I put it all? I've been... Oh, I'm in items. Okay. I have... A few weeks ago, I've been planning this particular island for a while. And a lot of what I do is theater of the mind. I have some amazing art, animated art and scenes from James RPG Art and from Chipeku's scenes. They have a lot of really great backgrounds, and I love having that in the background when we're role playing or when we're doing exploration. Because quite frankly, one of the things I hate the most about battle maps is watching little 1-inch tokens move around randomly the battle map when there's no battle. When there's no, like, they're just like, oh, I'm going to explore. I'm going to run everywhere. And they're just like looking for something that's going to happen. So I can either build a bunch of stuff in the map or I can have beautiful background scenery. And I prefer the background scenery. So, what have we got? I found some really cool maps before that I was excited to use. And we have the modular. I think they're all in Moonlit. Yes. So we've got, where are we at? We've got this hell map. This is if they go deep into the fire plane, but just look at that piece of beauty. That's gorgeous. That's done by Angela Maps. Not me, Angela Maps. So we've got some great content here, a lot of great maps. And right now I've got to figure out where the player who got caught, where he's going to end up. So it's probably going to be in here, actually. It's a little rundown area. I think this is from Limithron. So we've got this area kind of run down, but it's all above the head. But it could be cool. What is this? What's going on over here? I don't know. We should either make that mean something or take it out. But it is very cool looking. All those magic spells in there. Yep, there's that, and there's that. Okay, so we're gonna just turn these off for now. Maybe we'll use them later. They're very cool looking. All right, so I think this is a good spot for where he'll be kind of trapped when the others come to rescue him. Now, what we'll do, we might move his token here. And just say, you know, hey, you're in this corner over here. What do we got over here? Oh, this is some Limithron. I can tell just by looking at it. This is gorgeous. There's like 4 maps on here. So we've got, this is some cave systems. Very cool. But there's no way in from the back. It's all in the front, which is, I guess we could come in from this angle here if we wanted to keep the prisoners here. But there's no, I mean, I guess we have this area over here. There's not really a lot of prisoner looking areas over here. So let's see what else we got. This is also cool. Oh, the great big tree in the middle. It's a little too green, though. We don't have a lot of green. We're doing like this Iceland vibe. So volcanic rock, mostly lichen. Not a whole lot of places to hide. Lichen, flowers, whatever. That's right. I don't have any rogues, so it'll be fine. This is another great big tree. This is another great big tree. Okay. Oh, these are 2 different levels of the same map. 3 different levels of the same map. Okay, cool. It's very cool. I do really like this map, and I want to use it for something. Oh, wait. What's this? There is a brig area. Now, the problem is these pirates have taken a bunch of people. Some of them are taken against their will and being made to work. Some of them are working for payday. They think they're going to get paid big at the end of this, so they are working for that cash, y'all. So we are going to have, we can have some cool bits with that. That'll be fun and interesting because, some people are going to want to be rescued. And some are just going to be like, are you going to pay me? No, this is where the money is. And I feel like that kind of conflict will actually be really fun. All right. Oh, so this is a Chipeko, one of the Chipeko scenes. And look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? And I picked the underwater one because this is a high seas campaign. We're just gonna set that view position because that was weird. All right, so we've got we know where that's where our prison is going to be, and it's foggy like that. The lighting's kind of strange to me, but I love the fog. The fog is great. There is still a lot of green here, but we can just hand wave the green. We don't need to sweat it too much. I think this is where all the people are going to stay, but the people who are there on their own accord are going to be one area, and the prisoners are going to be in another. Okay. Oh, Hangman's Beach with the black sand. Ah, yes, this is where we left off. So we have some of the players were hiding out in the water when the enemy came, and some of the others were up on sand. Our druid transformed into a crab, and our warlock went invisible. And everybody else, the other two, have swim speed, so they went into the water. All right, so that's where we're going to pick off for them. And then Pirate Hideout Night. I do really like that. But I don't know what to use it for yet. And we're going to toggle navigation on this. And then we have this lava exterior, which is something that came with the adventure that I am modifying for this whole shebang. So we might use this. As of right now, I'm not really sure. But it is a nice little map. Now, here's the thing. This map here, I really, really like because look at it. It's gorgeous. But I think depending on how things go with the pirates, I think it would be ultimately amazing to have the fire plane kind of come through. And then we have this map here. So like that other map where we're going to have the captured people is going to be off-center to this one. And then depending on how things go, for good or for ill, we can use this map to be like, oh, shit's exploding. And then maybe they'll go running into those lava tubes, those lava tunnels, which would be pretty epic. And go further, go deeper, because the thing is they think that they're here to trade in, to save their friends. And they found out from a pirate they've dealt with before and met up with out in the sea outside of this island that she knew of a MacGuffin that she convinced them to allow her to go get. And she was going to bring it back so she could get in good with this pirate captain and maybe get her ship back, because, you know, they sank her ship and took her crew, and she just wants her crew and her ship back. So she was going to trade this MacGuffin that she found, that she had, that is a compass similar to the compass from Pirates of the Caribbean, where it doesn't point north. It's just like a blank compass that doesn't point north. Instead, it points to the nearest star medal. So the whole point is that she's going to go get it. Well, the players already have it. I used that as I used that as an excuse so that the players would know why this thing was important, because they immediately went, huh, that's weird, and put it in their pocket and forgot about it. So we wanted to make sure that we bring it back up, and they go, oh, wait, we have that. So when they get to the island, if they look at the MacGuffin, they're going to see that it doesn't point north, but it is pointing in a particular direction, and they can go find that star medal. And if they try to find the star medal, they get their friends, and they will meet one of the players' fathers, who's deadbeat dad, never home, is a pirate himself, but he is not on this crew of pirates, this ragtag bunch of pirates that are looking for this star to sell it. He is there to make sure it doesn't get to the person that they're trying to sell it, that these pirates are trying to sell it to. So 2 different factions of pirates. Even there's multiple factions of pirates, but we have the Pirate King, Captain Davik, who will not be on this island. His lieutenant, Captain Rough Dog, who will be on this island. And then one of my players' fathers, who is also going to be on the island looking for the star. So we're going to have that kind of meeting, and it's going to be hopefully exciting. So before I get too much further, I do want to do, I use the Lazy DMs template on Notion. It's fantastic. Highly recommend. I'm just going to pull this right up here. It lets you put in your players, and you can look at what they're good at, what they have, what tools they have, yada yada yada. Strong start. We're gonna have one of the characters stayed behind in the boat. This is because the player wasn't in the session. They were doing other things, so we just said, oh, for whatever reason, Seraph particularly wanted to be in the rowboat with 3 NPCs. So now the fact that the player wasn't there to get in the rowboat and come to shore with everyone else means that something happened there. So the strong start is going to be Seraph. Why she late? Just going to put why she late. Because she was with 2 of the NPCs that the players hired to be crew on their ship, and the pirate captain, Captain Evelyn, who they have worked with in the past and is not incredibly trustworthy, but not necessarily going to stab the players in the back either. Seraph never met Captain Evelyn before, but she is kind of into the whole pirate thing, and she's the only one of the crew that is. So she's already had a couple of conversations with Evelyn, like, hey, what is this whole pirate thing about? And Captain Evelyn is just feeding her all the candy, all the sweetness, right? Just, oh, freedom, and you can do whatever you want, and yada, 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 like trying to get Seraph on her side. So now we have this dramatic tension between the players and, or between the other characters and Seraph, and her relationship that she's building with Captain Evelyn and Mzori, one of their crew, and who's the other one? I forgot the other one's name, but another NPC. That works for them. Now, generally, the deal is the NPCs stay on the ship and the players go to shore. But we've been playing this long enough that the players are kind of getting the idea, like, if the NPCs end up in combat, like, y'all got to make the decisions for what they're going to do. I'm already running all the bad guys, so it is going to be more complicated for them to run anyway. So scenes, we've got the beach. Sarah meets up with the crew. I'm just gonna put ocean or water, because one of the crew members is actually just kept going out to sea to avoid being seen by the pirates walking on the ship. So they'll be the first to find Sarah, which may or may not be interesting. Another scene we're going to have is the pirate prisoner camp. And then we're going to have probably outside the camp Unikids. And I'm writing Unikids because that's shorthand for me. But the people that they're trying to save include one of my player's previous characters and a group of university kids. They were all in the first session, the first adventure, because I only had 3 players at the time, and so I wanted to fill out the ship. You know, you need 9 crew to run a ship, and the players decided they wanted to work for the university. So you got the graduate students, right? They're the older kids. They're not like teenagers or anything, but like they're in their young 20s and graduate level or whatever, and they're part of this crew, this ship crew going out. And when the players were coming back, they really cared about these NPCs and told me that they were afraid to pick up any of the hooks that were going on out in the ocean. I kept throwing all kinds of like creepy islands and stories of sea giants and like, hey, where do you want to go? You're out at sea. There's all these places, there's a lot of creepy underwater temples. And they never really picked any of them up. And I was like, hey, y'all, what's going on? Why aren't you doing this? And they're like, well, we just want to get the university kids back to the university. So we fast forwarded that. And one of the players was like, hey, can I know a guy? You know, I'm a Marine. I've got the Marine background. And I'm like, heck yeah, you can know somebody. Like, yeah. So he found a guy on a ship, and we literally named him Noah Guy, because, hey, I know a guy. And we all had a great laugh about that. They put one of the players decided to change characters, so his old character went on that ship, as well as all the kids, the NPC kids. And then the players just turned around and went off and did their own thing. Well, I love my players to pieces, but they don't pick up all the hooks that I lay down for them. They kind of, they're a little passive. So I thought, well, you know what will make them hopefully be less passive? Steal these kids. So eventually they found out that Noah Guy sold these kids. Or maybe not sold them, but the ship was boarded and he just handed them over. He didn't fight back or nothing. The kids tried to fight back. The teacher tried to fight back. One of the kids got away because she's a rogue. She's trying to get people to help her. Nobody's really helping her. Then the players show up and she says, hey, you know, what the heck? Why'd you sell off my friends? Now they're gone. And then the players hopefully will, or did decide to go and head out to sea. So that's that background. So we're going to have, so outside of the camp, some of the kids have already escaped. the professor, Kajim, who's like the big, tall, muscular bodyguard, barbarian, and then some other people, which will include some of the pirates from Captain Evelyn's first ship. So it'll be people that the players know and recognize, and then other people who are just there to cause conflict. Which does remind me, I need to create some of those people. So they're already escaped, and they're trying to find their way out off the island, maybe steal a ship, something. They're trying to figure something out, but they're in hiding. So the group of my players that are not captured can run into them and get a little bit of a lore drop, like what's happening, what's the status of the camp, all that fun stuff. Now that I'm saying all this out loud, now that one of the players got captured, I might not need that lore dump. But I was also keeping those NPCs free in my back pocket because A, it's going to add conflict because there's going to be a higher guard amount, people searching. And B, if my players get captured, there's someone to try and get them out. So there's that. Although we also have Konstantinos' dad. So, but I also like that because there's some other stuff with the Star Medal, and my player's old character had a wasting disease. So we have some cool stuff with that. But now I'm thinking, with the one player captured, here we go. With the one player captured, he can break out with Kajim and the professor and the others. Or maybe I think because I don't want the player to be in prison by himself waiting for the other players if the other players take too long, right? You don't want to just leave that there. But it could be a cool way to give the players concepts and ideas of what's happening at that camp. Because, we're going to go back and forth between groups, and every time I go to him, I'll be like, oh, like, this is what you see. This is how things are going, right? But I might have Kajim and the crew break out after he gets there. We're going to have to come back to this. If anybody has any concepts and ideas, love to hear it. A lot of times, too, sometimes I decide in the moment, on a whim, based on what my players have got going on. So outside the camp, inside the camp, at the water, and possibly the lava tubes. And camp gets exploded. Maybe. We'll see. Camp gets exploded is a great way to get my player out, right? Like, that's a great distraction. And Kajim is a fire genasi. So she could ostensibly call on something. Kajim is based on one of my characters who was a fire genasi wild magic barbarian, and everything was flavored to be like she grew up in the fire plane, and like everything was all her stuff was flavored to be from like fire plane stuff, all the wild magic surges. So I think that's great. Luckily the game is on Friday, so I have more time to think on that and look over my old character sheet and see what kind of cool stuff she could do, because maybe that's what I want to do. So let's just put this right here. Secrets and clues. Kajim has ties, feelings of the fire plane. Okay, Professor Albrecht. That's my player's old character. Professor Albrecht. His illness is, and here's what I was torn between this last time we were talking about this. This came up. Do I want to make it worse because of the star, or better because of the star? And I know what I did. I figured out that the wasting disease is part of a shadow creature, which is causing the... Oh, hi, James. No, let's see. I have an extension for the live chat. Oh, I had to type for me to see it. That's weird. Can I make this bigger? Smaller? There we go. Oh, sorry. I just squished. Streaming on YouTube is different from streaming on Twitch, and I had to squish my chat. But hello! Have they been engaging more in the plot? So, we only had one session since then because I was in Dragon Con last Friday. And that session, we spent like half of it going over expectations and kind of like reassessing what everybody wants. I still think that they'd be better off in a Powered by the Apocalypse game. But they said some wonderful things about my world and my story. And so it made me kind of feel like a bad person for being like, wah! But we agreed that at the end of the session, they'll each have intentions, which they wrote down in the chat, and saying like, okay, my intentions this session or next session are my player's going to do X. So it helps me prep and plan, but it also helps them get back into their characters' heads of like, oh, this is what I was going to do. And it helps them to narrow down what they want to do. Like at the end of the session going, okay, we've got choices next session. My character's going to do this or whatever. So, yes, we only had like half a session, but they definitely jumped in, and the monk was so fabulous. Like, he refused to back down, and he tried to fight back, even though he was outnumbered, even though everybody else was hiding, and he got taken, and it was utterly amazing. It was like really, really neat and cool, and I was really happy with it because he just went out there and did it. So I think I have high expectations. I have high hopes that they're going to start engaging with the plot more. And this island, like I've been planning for ages, this island, to have ties between the players and the plot, and like just really driving home that I need to like really hook them in and bring them. So we'll see what happens this Friday. And we'll have the whole crew this Friday, so that'll be good too. But so Dreams, how does the stream look? Does it look okay? You got any feedback? Because I would get too distracted if I looked at it. But and also, yes, Noah guy, isn't that hilarious? That was the player. That was all the player. So, Professor Albrecht's illness is a byproduct of the dark entity. We'll just put dark entity because I haven't figured out what this dark entity is yet. But it is connected to Professor Albrecht and Seraph and Sky Full of Stars, which are... Professor Albrecht is the old one of my players' old character. So I think it's going to be really cool to bring him in. The stream looks great. Awesome. Thank you so much. Glad to hear it. All right, so my secrets and clues. We still have Vala is... So we had some cool ones last time. Let me pull that up because we had this whole like backstory thing of some of the NPCs. So they still don't know that Evelyn stole the chart to the archipelago. That's gonna get in, and she has the captain's log. Captain Davik is still a Shadowfell version of himself. Rough Dog bristles under Captain Davik. The star is driving into the fireplane. Alright. Vala the Wizard wants the Star Medal and is working with the pirates for a common goal. Alright, so we want these still. Now, I don't always save all my secrets and clues, but this is because we only got like half a session in. Excuse me. And there's just a lot of cool stuff on this island. So we'll go back to... Oh, Dreams, do you ever run homebrew stuff? Do you ever like make your own adventures, or do you usually just run modules? Because this video by, who was it? Enter the Dungeon. Really, really good. And he just came up with another one that's like a part 2. Which is like, what happens when... let's see, can I share it? Oh, not from here. What happens when you lose a player and how to reconnect the plot webs. It's a bit long, but it's really, really great. All right. Oh, cool. Yeah. It's so good. I need to finish my plot webs for these guys. For this group. All right. All right. So I still want the intermediate guide. Is that the next one in the series? I don't remember what the intermediate guide is. So we're still figuring out. The pirates stole the kids. And what I was thinking is because there's all these ties to this shadow creature. Oh yeah, that's the PC death changing the villain one. Okay, cool. Yeah. I was watching that today. I need to listen to it again because there's like just so much there. So, for my players, I want that one of the pirates was specifically looking for one of the players or specific people when they stole the university kids. At first, I was like, oh, they just stole them because I need the players to do something. But now I'm starting to think, like, what if... similar to campaign 3 of Critical Role's Root is Born, I have these ties to the dark entity which wants stars for its own purpose, and the what I've been calling the astral elves, which wants the star for their purpose. And I'm thinking maybe adding one more faction. Well, definitely having a third faction, which is Seraph's mom, who's a sea folk. And I checked this out with the player first to make sure she was okay with it. But their character is going to be basically like Blade or she mentioned a different character that is similar, but basically, while mom was pregnant, she had an encounter with this creature of darkness, or a representative of this creature of darkness, and so the character, the player, the character Seraph, is also touched with this darkness, and it's the same darkness that's touching the professor, but the professor is human. So it shows up as like these black veins in this illness, this sickness that never goes away. And it cannot be healed by magic or any power. It just like grows and gets worse. And it doesn't like, I mean, he got it when he was a kid and he's an old man now. So it makes him weaker. And mostly for the player, it was, he wanted to be, he played the Professor Albrecht as being what do you call it, like super hyper, like clean, and I need my wounds cleaned, and I need like being a little more worried about getting hurt, and needing like, and hiding his wounds and hiding things and stuff like that. So that was more his vibe with that. But he invented a disease in my world, so heck yeah, I'm gonna use it. And it's named after like the wastes, an area of the world where like nothing can grow or live, and there's a big war, a big magic war, whatever. And I don't have that fully fleshed out. It's just sort of half like, hey, it's a thing that happened. It's part of the world. If the players ever went there, I'd figure it out, and there'd be a lot of like creepy stuff there, but this is supposed to be a high seas campaign, so I didn't expect them to. So, but part of that, when I was sort of building it and I was rolling a bunch of random rolls to figure out what happened, one of the things that happened was basically the devilkin that lived at the far south were trying to this feels really complicated. I don't know that I want to really explain it all, but basically either devils or demons or something else was like coming up from under the earth and trying to fight and take over. And these other people, sort of druidic, combined together, like pulled together all their power and caused what's called the Great Calm, which spread out throughout, and it ended the war. It ended whatever foul beings were fighting and causing the war, but it also ended all other life. And so and then a bunch of people were able to get out beforehand, but now like there's a giant wall around it, and there's only one country that's trying to reclaim the land. All of that is to say that now I want to connect that wasting disease with that touch of the shadow, I kind of need to figure that out a little bit more. So there's definitely, I'm gonna have to put the factions in here because maybe I'll all right. I'm gonna just turn this into factions so I can just have it written down. And we'll just change this to factions. And I'll eventually build factions. But we're gonna have the Astral Elves. Which someday I will go find the name that I gave them. We're gonna have the Pirates under Pirate King Davik. They need a better name. And the pirates under Pirate King Davik, I'm going to connect to one of my players, one of my the character's backstory is that he hates pirates, and these certain pirates like basically took him from his home. And I'm still waiting for that to get fleshed out. So I poked him today, and he's connecting his pirate background with the other player who's also wanted to have the same pirates. They wanted to have them connected, but they never like actually decided on how they were connected. They were just like, oh, that's cool. Like, yeah, we'll have the same pirates in our background. And it's been like 6 months. And so I poked him today and I'm like, hey, are y'all going to decide how you are connected through these pirates? So Astro Elves, pirates under Pirate King Davik. Cons pirates, which is like a underdog freedom fighter group. They're going to need a name too. You got any good names, Dreams? And then we have the Dark Entity and his cult, which I think I want to make at least some of the pirates part of his cult. Who am I missing? Oh, Seraph's mom. Works with Metal Leaves group. So these are a lot of factions. This might be too much. So Seraph's mom ran off when Seraph was like 8 to 10. And then her dad went looking for a mom when a couple of years later. And when we rolled up the character for Seraph, we rolled on the heroic chronicler, and we rolled up that Seraph's mom was I forgot what it was, but it was one of the Wildmount like spy groups. I think the one that Caleb was I think it starts with a V. I can't think of Volstrucker. I think a Volstrucker agent. Which isn't necessarily good, but I was thinking she's always been the mom, was always fighting back, and she thought that she could settle down, and then the Dangers found her and attacked her, which when she was pregnant with Seraph, and therefore affected the child in a way. And so the child has that little bit of darkness inside her, Seraph does. And then ran off to raise Seraph with the husband in the shadow of a wizard's tower, close enough to take advantage of the protection, but not close enough to actually have any dealings with the wizard. Just one of those, like, no one wants to mess with him, so I'm going to kind of hang out in his neighborhood, but I don't want to mess with him either, so we're just going to be really quiet about it. And then something happened to send her off again to go fighting back this thing. And she was supposed to return, and when she didn't return, the husband went to go find her and dropped Seraph off in a very militaristic country that I have, which is basically the Tieflings. They're always on guard. Everyone joins the military, no matter your status. Which, of course, she bucked against because she's the bard, and she's like the punk rock bard. So, but she had, like, adoptive siblings through that. One of which tried to kill her and stole an item that her mom gave her. So I'm trying to figure out with Seraph. I worked with the player, and they said, hey, or I said to them, pick an item that your mom gave you, that your brother stole from you when you had your big fight, You can just decide whatever it looks like and its meaning to you, but I decide what it does and what it's made out of. Because I want it to be made of star metal. And if it's made of star metal, I want, like, I was, she had originally said, like, her character would have dark dreams, but we didn't really flesh it out. So I said, well, if you're still good with that you had the dark dreams all your life, especially after your mom left, but you didn't have them in the Feywild, and you haven't had them after your brother stole the item. And I want it to be like whenever Seraph is going to be near star metal, that shadow part of her is trying to get her to get it. It's trying to like connect with her and influence her. And because the shadow dark entity just wants the star metal. That's what he wants, because it's going to help him, I don't know, create a permanent portal between the planes so that he can come through and rule the world. Because that's kitschy enough. I mean, that's pretty tropey. But I'm thinking I want to have... So the main plot that I had a month ago was that the astral elves were pulling the stars from the sky and then hiring these pirates to go out and get them because they want to build their spaceship and return home. So I want this dark entity that is the patron of my warlock, has ties to Professor Albrecht and Seraph. I want that creature to also be trying to get these stars, and therefore like trying to influence the player characters in different ways and try and get that kind of drama, because my players at the end of the day love intercharacter drama. They don't actually like combat that much, and they will fight, they will have combat, they're okay with it, but it's not like they want to fight everything they come across. So I think that this like dark influence seeping into their group and trying to tear them apart is something the players will enjoy playing out. So we have that. And I think the dark entity and his cult, I need to figure out. You got any ideas, Dreams? I've had one player mention Aboleth. I don't know that much about Aboleth. And I had another player mention Shadow Dragons. I need to read more about the Shadowfell, because there's a lot of ties to the Shadowfell. So basically, whoever this dark entity is, they're from the Shadowfell. And I was also thinking that Seraph's mom, like, there could be another dark entity that's coming from the plane of water, because the plane of water has leaked in. That's where a lot of the sea folk come from. So maybe trying to keep that away. But I don't know that I want 3 creatures trying for these stars. I think that's starting to get into complicated territory. But anyhow, that's what I've got. Khan has a reaction when near a star, and I did do this before. I'm going to see where I put it. I think I put it in Khan's thing. So I was looking around, and Constantinus is a star druid, so obviously has connections to the star. Also, he's one of the astral elves. He just doesn't know it. So I was thinking when he touches a star, something's going to happen. He's going to be drawn to the star. Right now, he's passing his wisdom saving throws to even notice. Like, he knows that there's like a pull, but it's not enough to like really affect him or change how he's reacting to things. But eventually, if he fails one of those wisdom saving throws, it's going to like cause such a draw that he needs to get to the star. And when he has the star, and something's going to happen. Either I want to give him a new constellation, which is a D8 bonus to something, which is what all the constellations have, a D8 bonus to something. But I'm not sure what yet. Or, and this is the thing that I think is actually really cool, If there's a star within 30 feet, you can trade your soul for power. And this is, I vibes really cool in my imagination. I don't know if the player will like it, but in the Dresden Files, whenever he uses soul fire, it pulls from his own soul. So it does actually take damage if it uses too much. But you can always get your soul back, like hugs and love and all that kindness and blah, blah, blah. So, in D&D terms, it's going to be a hit die. So he can roll his hit die. He'll take that much damage because it's his soul, but also be able to affect creatures with radiant damage. And I copied it from an arrow. It's like a blood arrow or something. But I also want, because Khan really relies on the Archer constellation, so it's going to like affect that. So either he can point, or when I think I like it when he uses his starry druid form and flings an arrow, he can choose to add more power to that, and it costs a hit die, or as many hit die as he wants to spend, to be honest. I think the player might like that. We'll find out. And it might even be like we can... Oh, bye, Dreams. Thank you so much for hanging out. Have fun in your game. Let's see. So... Alright, so what I want to do now is I should already have all our pirates. Captain Davik. Captain Rough Dog Hayden. I can't remember where... this might just be like the actual... I was from Ghosts of Saltmarsh. Okay. Features. The captain adds its charisma modifier to the damage roll for its longsword attacks, included in the attack. Oh, it should already be included. And sea legs. Ooh, has advantage on ability checks and saving throws to resist being knocked prone. That's awesome. Cool. Love it. Alright, multi-attack. One with his hand crossbow. Multi-attack. 2 attacks. One with his hand crossbow and one with its longsword. That's fun. Does that mean he has like the... Isn't there a feat or something that allows you to not have disadvantage? I mean, I might need to look that up in the Ghost of Saltmarsh to make sure. So, and Captain Davik is for later. Herman Jackroy. Whoa. Wow, whoever Herman Jackroy is, he needs more health. Where's my... There it is. Humanoids. Gunpowder Rat has 26 hit points. 48. Alright. And the Iron Chain Alkalite has 85. So the Iron Chain Alkalite is... they are representatives from the Astral Elves who will be the ones to return the star to the Astral Elves. And are there to kind of make sure that the pirates follow their side of the bargain. I also want to give them a get out of jail free card. And I don't know, does anybody know any good items that will get you out of I'll give you like a Misty Step. Just once a day. Oh, isn't there a feat for that? So there's like Shadow Step or something? Shadow Touched? What does that do? You learn the invisibility spell and a first level spell of your choice. Okay, and it's gotta be. And then there's. Okay. There's a Fey Touched, which I think. Fey Teleportation. You can momentarily stride through the Feywild to shorten your path from one place to another. You learn the Misty Step spell and can cast it once without expending a spell slot. I kind of like that. Although I'm less excited about. I mean, it's not necessarily going to be Fey themed. So do I want Shadow Touched with the invisibility spell? Or Fey Touched with the I kind of want to have one of each, but then I need to have one a way to do it, like, because there's going to be multiples. So well, I guess I'll look at this later. It's like, oh, you know what? When in doubt, roll some dice. Alright, so Fey is 1 and Shadow Touched is 2. Alright, so Fey Touched. And we'll give them the Wisdom. Not like it matters, but does it give you a spell? No, it doesn't. I still have to give them the spell. And I think that's just cool to have, like, a get out of jail free card, basically. And also, it's like, it's not just against the players, it's against the pirates too. It's the whole. They are. They need something in the back pocket in case the pirates turn on them. You know what? I think I like the invisibility better, because then the pirates know that the acolytes can go invisible and are always just a little bit nervous that the acolyte could be like right behind them. I like that better. We're going to give them the invisibility. So glad that I rolled on the table. All right. Compendium, items, magic. Spiels. Where's the spiels? And 1 time per day. All right. So once per day. Well, I probably could just do this too. Limited uses. 1 per long rest or day. All right, cool. So technically, I don't think it needs that spell slot, but that's cool. All right, so we have that. This is Gunpowder Rad. It's just basically pirates. We have pirate crew as minions, which are always fun. And then we have pirate crews as actual people. Did I We're gonna do so. Their damage is just going to be. Oh, edit. Because they're a minion, and this is what happened to me last time. Is I forgot to adjust this. 2 per minion. So with minions, depending on how many are on the character and are attacking at one time, is how much damage they do and what their attack is. So +5 to hit is +1 per minion. Or I think it might even be like +2 +1 for each minion, something like that. I'll have to double check it in the. I have that from Flea Mortals by MCDM, which is pretty awesome. So let's see. Let's do it as other and see if I can. Oh, this is just not really going to work. I don't know how to make it work, I guess is really the question. The mod would be. I guess I'll just put 2 plus. I don't know how to do it. All right, well, we'll just put 2 plus, and then I'll figure it out one at a time. Cool. So we have that pirate crew minion, pirate crew. Regular pirates, I guess they're just regular. All right, cool. Not super hard. So I think I'm going to do this mostly Theater of the Mind because I can look at some maps on Moulinet. Okay, cool. Look at some maps on Moulinet, and then maybe there's something good for like a beach or Icelandic something. I bet Iceland is not in here. Volcano. I think I did this before. Hanging Gardens on Fire. Oh. I like this. I don't think I have this. Oh, that's tight. Okay. So, what do we got for beach? Oops. Oh, this is good. And this part up here could be mountainous or it could be like greenery. It's kind of a little of both. So that's awesome. Another one, beach black sand. I love Limithron stuff. Okay, so this is one I use, this Hangman's Beach. I used that already, so we'll try to bring this one in too. Shipwreck. I like the black sand because it's volcanic. Island, beach. Rocky. Oh, that's interesting. Rocky Island. Gravel. Nope. I'm not sure what to search for. And with 11,000 creators, that's a lot. We need to narrow this down. I'm not sure where else to look. What I got in okay. I don't know what's in the prefabs. That might be furniture and stuff. Let's look for pirates. Tiles and tokens. I got the Port Pirate Tavern from Tribeco. I've got that. Oh, Alien Pirates. Oh, Demille's. I just started supporting her. Oh, that's cool. That actually would look really good for a background scene for that first map with the cave. That would be neat. Alright, so... just gonna look around. Oh, Limithron's boats are on here now. I used to always bring them in manually, but this is awesome. That's really cool looking lake. So I'll just definitely have to do more with that. Oh, this is a snowy version. Oh, I like these coins in the... oh, here we go. Online tabletop. Bunch of pirate art. Oh, Venatus maps. Venatus? I didn't even realize that they had... I've been supporting them for ages, and I don't think I realized that they had, that they had tokens. Can I... alright, can I download it? The last time I tried to do tokens, they were set as tiles. Oh. Wow. Does that say click? 30 assets have been selected and are ready to be used on the scene. Click to randomly drop one of them. Right click to switch to token tiles journal layer. Does that just work? Oh, he looks big though. Yeah, see, he's... oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Stop. Stop, stop, stop. See, they drop down as tiles instead of tokens. That's the one thing, though. It's really cool, but I need to learn how to drop them as tokens. Alright, so we'll have... and then this seems like a really huge... I love this disaster fire. So good. So good. Okay, yeah, that looks like a right size. And we're just gonna throw creatures on here. Cause it's fun. So fun. And then Afridi, I think, are pretty... CR11. Yeah, we don't want to drop that in here yet. Although maybe rising up from the center. Only if I want my players to run away. That would be pretty epic. Like a reason for them to run away if they're trying to stick around and fight everything. Which I don't think they would necessarily be doing. but I think it would be fun. All right, so let's see. We've got this lava cave. And I need to maybe look at the map for this. So I don't remember where that one was, but I do have it in my folder. So we can open this up. Well, this one I don't think I've uploaded yet. We want this one. This one's pretty. And it's a great way to connect. All right. Where did I put it? Blazing Isles. Okay. This should probably not. All right. Okay, that has a map key. Ooh, it's got tokens too. I missed that. Alrighty. Cool. So I don't see the key for the first lava one, but that's okay. Oh, do I already have it? Oh, I already have it. Right. Well, I'm glad I already uploaded it. I just didn't make a map for it. Check that off. Give me the global illumination. Okay, yeah, there we go. I do already have it. 5, 10, 15, 20, so it's not very big. But that's alright. Turn the grid off, because I hate grid lines. Alright, so I'm probably going to start. Oh, that's fire. Alright, going to do some walls in here. Here's the fun part. Walls are just the best, you know? And I'm totally being sarcastic, if you couldn't tell. Ooh. 11 has new. Ooh, I like this. All right, well. Basic walls. Cool. I haven't actually done walls since switching to version 11. And I like that. I love the new stuff they've got with version 11 where it's like it actually has descriptions of things, because there's a lot of times where I'm like, wait, what? I don't understand what you're trying to say. I don't speak the same language, even though I know you're definitely trying to speak English. So, and this will be fun too, because this is a high seas campaign, so I made sure all the players knew, like, having a swim speed matters. Stuff like that, like, you know, they're ready to do water stuff. They are not ready for fire. They are not at all ready for fire. So hopefully this will be fun and, you know, fun, scary. For them, and be like, oh, shoot. And maybe this will end up being like a trip around the plains. Maybe. One thing is, one of the players kind of mentioned, and he mentioned it in passing, so I totally missed it the first time. Or I was like, oh, that sounds neat, but it didn't stick in my brain for like, oh, this is what I need to do. Where I was like, oh, hey. Or he said, oh, I want to dream about the planes. And he mostly wanted to dream about the astral plane. And I was like, okay. I have this whole theme, really, in my world of the planes coming up, right? The planes are basically part of this world. Which I guess a lot of the planes are in a lot of worlds. But for me, I was thinking, like, how they crash into each other. And originally, I was just thinking, like, because I made my world with Mappa Imperium, and that leads to some really neat but really random stuff. So I just couldn't figure out how to make it all work until I started thinking about the concepts of the planes coming through. And then once I started figuring out, like, that, oh, everything is built because the planes come in and out. The seas rise when the water plane, you know, comes in. The mountains are created when the earth plane or the fire plane are brought through, depending if it's, you know, where in the world it is. And death comes when the shadow plane arrives. So I just think it's kind of neat. All right, walls are done. I'm going to put some lighting in here too. We got to have some good fire lighting over here. Light and information. Fire! Fire! Torch. And I love changing the color so that it's actually kind of like orangey. I always find that to be, like, very fun. There we go. Look at that. Doesn't that just, like... Oops. Wait, what happened? Light radius. Somehow I made it really small. Okay. Not sure what I did. Okay. That's what I did. Alright. So what I really want to do, let's just copy this and just move them all. Yeah, I love doing that. Or it's just, oh, this one doesn't have the animation. There we go. That just looks so tight. In my opinion, it just looks so good. I will take this one and we'll put their dim light at put 40 feet. So the flickering kind of go in here, right? And it just extends over here, but the light is just going to come right up through this area here. And I don't see the entrance, which is kind of freaky. But you know, I guess whatever. I'll have to read it better. I love that. Oh, I love this lighting. This looks so good. All right. Alrighty. So we have apparently my camera died. My camera light is off and my scene is frozen on OBS. I don't know how it looks for the rest of you, but that's a thing. I don't know how to fix it. Okay, cool. That's a bit of a this might be an OBS issue. You will not be able to reconnect. Your stream will stop and you will no longer be live. I mean, I get the... What do you mean I won't be able to reconnect? Okay, I'm not sure what happened to my camera, y'all. This is fun. I wonder when it happened. We can't find your camera. Well, no shit. No cameras attached. Nothing's changed. Well, I guess I'm just going to have to stop streaming until I can figure out what happened to my camera. So I apologize for that. I hope you all have a great day. And We'll see what we can figure out.